Imagine you own a beautiful mansion designed for peace. But there is a stranger in your living room, shouting about a mistake you made 3 years ago. In real life, you would call the police. Yet in your mind, you pull up a chair and listen. You would never allow a stranger to occupy your physical home. So why do we let negative thoughts live rent-free in the most expensive real estate we own? We have all been there. You are trying to enjoy your morning coffee, feeling the warmth of the cup in your hands. Or maybe you are driving to work. Physically, you are safe, but mentally, you aren't there. You are back in a conference room from last Tuesday, replaying a sentence you stumbled over. Or you are reliving a breakup from a decade ago, still analyzing signs you missed. In the real estate world, we call this a squatter, someone who occupies a space they don't own, paying absolutely zero rent and refusing to leave. Your mind is the most expensive real estate you will ever own. It is the only place you truly live. Yet, most of us have lost the keys to our own front door. We allow random, repetitive thoughts to crash on the couch, raid the fridge, and trash the place. We think that if we just listen to the squatter long enough, if we analyze the thought one more time, he will finally be satisfied and leave. But that is the trap. Attention doesn't make the squatter leave. Attention is the food that makes him stay. Here is the truth that changes everything. The thoughts looping in your head, they are not trying to solve a problem. They are just noise. Think about your physical mailbox right now. Every single day, it is stuffed with junk. Coupons you don't need, offers you didn't ask for. When you hold that pile of paper, what do? You don't bring it inside and study the fine print. You don't worry that throwing it away makes you a bad person. Of course not. You recognize it as junk. You gently toss it in the recycling bin, and you go on with your day. You don't give it a second thought. But when it comes to mental junk mail, these repetitive regrets and worries, we treat them like certified letters from the IRS. We open them. We study them. We panic over them. We assume that because a thought is loud, it must be important. We assume that because a thought hurts, it must be true. But a thought is just a mental event. It is just weather passing through the sky of your estate. It rains on the rich and the poor alike. The difference is, the happy person knows the rain will stop, while the anxious person stands outside trying to catch every drop in a bucket. You might be thinking, I try to stop it. I tell my brain to stop thinking, but it won't. That is because in the world of the mind, resistance creates persistence. Let's try a small experiment together. Keep your eyes open. For the next 10 seconds, I want you to not think of a white polar bear. You can think of anything else, your room, your shoes, your dinner, but do not think of a white bear. What happened? You saw the bear, didn't you? The moment you try to push a thought out the door, you are holding the door open for it. Imagine you are at a high-end dinner party in your mansion. That loud, annoying guest starts telling a boring story again. If you stand up and make a scene, telling him to shut up, what happens? The whole room goes silent. Everyone looks at him. You have just made him the center of attention. You have given him power. But what happens if you simply turn your back and start a conversation with someone else? What happens if you just let him talk to the wall? Eventually, his voice fades into the background noise of the party. He loses his audience. You cannot control which thoughts knock on your door. That is automatic. That is biology. But you have absolute 100% control over whether you invite them in for tea. So how do we practically reclaim our property? The first step is checking the lease. When a repetitive loop starts, that replay of an awkward moment, pause instantly. Don't engage with the content. Don't argue with it. Just tag it. Softly say to yourself, "This is just a rerun." Or, "I notice a replay is happening." By labeling it, you create a tiny, meaningful distance between you and the thought. You are no longer in the movie. You are the critic watching it. There is a powerful psychological shift here. Instead of saying, "I am worried," try saying, "I am noticing a worried thought." Do you feel the difference? The first one defines who you are. The second one defines a temporary event passing through your space. You are the sky. The worry is just a cloud. Clouds drift. They always drift, unless you grab onto them and try to hold them in place. The second step is reinvesting your assets. Your attention is your currency. It is the most valuable thing you possess. Every moment you spend analyzing the past is the capital you are burning. When you catch yourself in a loop, pivot your investment immediately. But don't just try to think of nothing. The mind hates a vacuum. You need to give your attention to a new job. Anchor yourself in the physical assets of the present moment. Feel the texture of the steering wheel under your hands. Listen to the hum of the refrigerator. Look at the way the light hits the floor. This isn't just spiritual fluff. It is biology. Your brain cannot fully focus on a sensory experience and a memory loop at the same time. When you force your attention onto the physical sensation of the now, you are simply cutting the power supply to the anxiety. You are effectively telling the squatter, "I see you, but I'm too busy managing the estate to listen right now." Living this way takes practice. At first, the squatter will keep coming back. He will knock loudly. He will try to trick you into opening the door. Don't fall for it. It's a phantom problem. It's a ghost story. Your mind is a beautiful place. It is designed for creativity, for connection, for peace. It is time to renovate. It is time to clear out the junk mail, open the windows, and let the fresh air back in. You hold the deed to this house. You hold the keys. Stop paying rent to your past and start investing in your now. If you are ready to reclaim your mental real estate, I want you to do one simple thing today. When that old thought comes up, just whisper, "I'm not buying what you're selling." If this story resonated with you, help us build this calm community by subscribing. Let's make our minds a place worth living in. Thank you for listening.